amor. That's good. I like it really, really close. That's what she said. Anyway. Okay. Okay, I guess we should start. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3. ¿Qué onda, wey? We are the Bodega Cats.
Fat Cats.
It's lit. I am 50-foot Pchs.
Laureezy is here.
Collectively, we are the Bodega Cats. I thought Laureezy had this like amazing intro because I always interrupt it.
I want to be consistent.
Yes, consistency. This is good. I was telling Laureezy, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts and they just reached their 5 years. And it was really cool what they had to say about pretty much like advice and just don't get discouraged or whatever. But one of the things was consistency. That was the first thing, huh? So that shit was cool. But anyway, episode 11, right? we'll
11
talk
podcasts
about so far.
In our queue.
Hey. And remember, we are on Spotify. Yeah.
Whoa, Spotify.
We continue to be on Soundcloud. We are on YouTube. And I know some of you enjoy watching us. We are so beautiful. And, or you just like to see a couple empath dorks running through this world without a clear path.
A clear path.
And you enjoy Laureezy's looks when I do something stupid. The way that she looks at me. And the way that I look at the camera when she says something I don't get. But anyway, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. We have an Instagram account. If for some reason we don't have a lot of followers on Instagram, and I don't know if they don't care that we have it. And I guess it's just promotion of when the episodes come out. But once in a while we get really good clips, and we're gonna start putting more of Laureezy's little. I'm not gonna say the name because I recently learned somebody. I'm paranoid, and somebody has a conspiracy that this social media thing that you love so much is a way for the Chinese to infiltrate us. So I'm not even going to say the name, but Laureezy loves to dance to these little thingies that all you youngins like. We'll talk about you guys later, but we might have some of those videos later on if you don't threaten our freedom. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I heard that. Same thing. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, but that's crazy. But anyway, where should we start? Oh, yeah. I had to start, right? Okay, so I want to do a couple of corrections that I did before, but I didn't. And again, we'll explain later. We are actually recording this yesterday, and that will make sense tomorrow when this is out. So we are recording this on 2/24/20, which is fucking awesome. Today was Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi Bryant celebration of, they called it a celebration, but it was the event that was on TV. I don't know exactly what you would call it, because
it's a celebration of life.
Yeah, I guess it was a celebration of life. And I thought it was so cool that it was 2/24/20. So it was Gigi's number 2, Mamba's number 24, and 20 the years that he spent in the NBA, and also the years he's been with his wife. Everything was like so meaningful, which is so fucking cool. I thought
that's awesome.
Rest in peace, Mamba, again. But anyway, so the things that I wanted to correct. The last podcast I said, and I don't even know why I'm correcting these, but when I see it on YouTube, I'm like, you fucking idiot. Just know
Isaiah Thomas.
Those were my super amazing editing skills. Just spit all over me. But no, the other one, I said that, why don't you? And I was going on and when I get and so angry, and I'm like, you should be our allies in the North, blah, blah, blah. Since when am I from the North? Is this Game of Thrones? Like, what the fuck? Obviously, Mexico's in the South. I made a mistake. So I meant to say the South. And the other thing, I kept saying culture vulture. No, vulture culture. I kept saying vulture culture, and it's culture vulture. Anyway, I know stupid mistakes, but I made those.
You made corrections.
Corrections, yes. And another thing, I don't even know if I want to keep going with the Lo Siento segment, because I don't feel like I should apologize. I feel like I own a lot of apologies. Owed a lot of apologies. And
you are owed, or?
I am owed, like me deben. Like somebody should apologize to me.
Oh, okay.
And I'm always apologizing. And now I have a platform to apologize, and I'm not going to do it anymore unless you bitches start apologizing to me too. But hey, accountability. Remember when we started the podcast?
Yeah.
Accountability.
Full circle.
Girl. So if I'm going to be accountable for my actions, everybody else should as well.
We'll make corrections and not be, lo siento.
Yeah, not lo siento, but I do want to say that when we talk about something and it fits, it's entertainment. You guys. I'm kidding. First of all, if you don't, it's entertainment. It's a podcast of entertainment. It's not a podcast of facts. It's not a podcast of you're going to get the most perfect information. I just said.
Don't take anything personally, remember?
This podcast should be like butter. It should just slide through. It should just feel good and slide through.
Butter.
We are like butter. So
butter.
Yeah, if it fits, like what we talk about, either be tough or be gone.
Right.
I have nothing to say. Of course, I want subscribers, and I am going to do shout-outs because I see you people. I see you guys subscribing, liking, commenting, and that shit is awesome.
Isle kittens.
We are here for you. No, I'm not talking about you when I talk like this. I'm saying, hey, if you don't like it, don't fucking listen, bro. Like I'm not going to keep apologizing.
Yeah, we don't want haters either, but...
Yeah, and when...
Constructive criticism, yeah, but...
That's...
Just meanness. We don't play that. We don't play that.
Twitter fingers, fingers. All that shit, I'm not afraid of y'all, especially if I know who you are, but, write it down if you're upset, Don't come behind doors and tell one of us.
Have a debate, and if you don't believe something, that's fine. We take other people's perspective, even if we don't agree with it.
Yeah. And just know, Pchs' views don't necessarily have to be Laureezy's views and vice versa.
Right.
But I do have to say, when I speak, it's like vomit. And especially in her pot. And it's just going to come out. Because I don't want to hold it in. It's gross. I want to let it out. So, again, I guess I have to do, instead of Pchs' Lo Siento segment, more of a warning, Pchs on the loose. Or something like that, But anyway, that's how we were going to start this thing. Now
Whoa.
Should we get into some fun stuff? Real quick, I know you didn't watch the All-Star game, probably.
No.
Okay, so real quick, I just want to say that shit was cool. I'm all for the new format. I
saw trailers of it. But
trailers? It's not a movie.
Well, snippet.
Oh. Hold on, my glasses are tight.
Like on Instagram or something.
Yeah, no, that shit was cool. The dunking contest was cool. I believe they picked the wrong winner, but that's another story. The 3-point... whatever the fuck it's called. Again, it's not a podcast of sports, you guys.
The 3-point shot?
Is that what it's called? The 3-point shot contest? Pass me a Kleenex, bro. Please. But the contest was cool. I liked it. I liked the new format, and every period had, it could be different winners. So it wasn't like the fourth. Yeah, it was so fucking cool. Again, it's not a podcast of sports. I'm sure people that like sports cringe when we talk about this, but I just wanted to say I liked it. I thought it was fucking cool, and it was fun, and I would definitely be looking forward to the same format next year. I think that shit was cool. And anyway, let's talk about pussy. So it's one of our favorite subjects, pussy and dick. One of us enjoys one more than the other, and vice versa. Ew, that made us sound like bisexuals. Nothing wrong if you're bisexual. Okay, I owe kittens, but I am not. And Laureezy isn't either, I think. But at least not now. We'll see what the future holds. Anyway, bro. Badu Pussy. Have you heard of Badu Pussy?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so for those of you that haven't, Erykah Badu, one of the most amazing, most talented human beings on this planet, has a fragrance out. It's called Badu Pussy. And it's from what I remember listening and reading about. It was a combination of her scent from her panties as well as her own panties. She burned them.
Her panties were cut.
She cut the little, my mom says, el pedacito. She cut the little spot.
Yeah.
And then, and she burned some of the panties, right? And even the ash was included in the fragrance, is what I heard.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it's told.
I'm so curious to smell. Apparently, it's sold out within the first.
Yeah.
But now there's more. Like that same day.
She has to wear a lot of panties.
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, if I look in my closet right now, we can probably make at least 3 times we can make fragrances with all the damn panties, no? Because you wear panties every day.
Huh.
Now, my question is, because there's only one fragrance, right? There's not like we have options. Like there's not like
I think there's just one.
It's not Badu in the gym, Badu performing, Badu chilling. Because I would prefer the necklace and chill Badu Pussy. Because I don't want no Badu Pussy after she performed for how many hours sweating and shit. And I don't want no Badu in the gym either.
No. I'm sure it's chill. I would think. I wouldn't promote at the gym. Well, maybe it's like perfect at the gym too. Like she has
beautiful scented pussy.
The gym. I don't know.
As gross as that sounds, I want it. I want it. I want to smell it. I want it. I want Badu Pussy on my chest.
And it's made for women, or is it unisex?
Unisex.
I say it like that.
I believe it's for women, but I don't know. That's a good question. Hey, that is a great question because
most marketed.
Most straight women wouldn't want Badu Pussy.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to smell like their own vagina.
Would they?
You would want like a man to use it because he'd be like, it's pussy.
Then he'd be hard all day.
Yeah. So
I don't think it's appropriate.
We should Google that.
We should Google that shit, and we should have been more informed. Again, this is a podcast of facts. No, it's not.
Fake.
But
at least it's not fake news.
But no, this isn't Fox. But just kidding, you guys.
Fox can fuck it.
So I don't know if Laureezy in her white privilege is the one that has said all those things in the podcast. I have not, Mr. President. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck you guys. But anyway, so, dude, wasn't there, what's her name? The actress, what's her name? A white lady. She's a good actress. Gwyneth Paltrow. Didn't she come up with that shit first? I thought I seen that she had a perfume that was vagina scented, but she was more politically correct, I guess, by calling it. And I don't even know if it was her own vagina. So that's a little interesting. But I think Gwyneth Paltrow had it first. And
yeah. after Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina scented candle, we asked an expert what's going on in the world of fragrances. And it talks about the candle smells like her vagina.
Oh, it was a candle.
A candle,
that's right. So that's different. So then I heard that Badu Pussy also, there was incense. I would like my living room to smell like Badu Pussy, I'm not going to lie.
Isn't there a line in Lil Wayne's new album? He talks about vaginas. I smell like vaginas. Or
I mean, he always talks like that. Pussy on my mind, on my breath, and on my finger. No?
This new one, I forgot what song he talks about. Smell like...
You actually vaginas. Now know lyrics from all 4 tracks of the new... I'm impressed, bro. Give him Laureezy. Hey.
I like Funeral and Mahogany.
Oh, that's a good one. I like
that one
Mahogany.
With Future. And is it Future or Do It?
I don't know which one that is.
Do It.
I have to go listen again. There's been a lot of music that has been coming out, and I was trying to listen to Royce's album. I heard it was really good.
Do It.
And
then Dreams.
Do It is when he talks about pussy that you're talking about? Or Do It is the song that you like? I'll make sure I listen to that shit. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I think Badu is brilliant. And there's a lot of non-pussy lovers who would even want the fragrance. So, I mean, I can't just sell a fragrance of my vagina. People are going to be like, ew, we don't want Pchs' vagina. Like, you know? But I bet if I was...
Same thing for Laureezy, although...
Well?
I've been told.
Laureezy just had a very nice compliment. She's not setting it up. I'm setting it up for you. She had a really nice compliment. Talk about it, bro. Hold on.
Well, we were intimate, and
her intimate partner,
my guy friend, said I had a pretty pussy. And I said, thanks.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't.
I did. What do you say about, like, no one's ever told me that, so.
I told Laureezy, thank you. She's like, I didn't know. Okay. Okay is not an answer.
No, I didn't say okay. I was like, thanks.
Hey, that's a really nice compliment. I've never gotten that compliment.
I was just like, just keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a few years. Thank you.
No, I told him.
Oh, you. Oh, I thought he was telling you to keep it up. I'm like, what else can I do to keep it up other than trimming the bush, you know?
I didn't even trim.
Oh, and still? Wow. Laureezy's pussy.
I'm not like...
You're not Sherwood Forest?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I keep it...
You keep it trim. You keep it cool. You keep it cool.
Landing. It's a landing strip.
Yeah. Directions. Even shampoo has directions. I don't see why not.
It's here. It's here.
This is where your face goes.
I'm also reading that book. Oh my God, what's the name of it?
Vagina Monologue?
Pussy.
Pussy? It's called Pussy?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How do they even sell it with that name? Like, hey, if you go to Barnes & Noble and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a book. It's called Female or Vagina with a P.
It's called Pussy.
It's said by a black woman. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And this is why I edit.
Does it have to be a black person?
When you told me there's a book called Pussy, I imagined this beautiful black woman.
A reclamation.
Pussy, a reclamation by Regina That's a toughie.
Does it sound like a white name?
Tomashur? Sounds like French and English combined. I don't know. Tomashur?
She's probably French.
Tomashiso. Regina Tomashiso has a book called Pussy.
I can see what she looks
reclamation. Look for it, yeah. I'm so curious.
It didn't show me.
We're gonna do a the Breakfast Club has a segment, and we're not stealing it. We're making a joke, okay? Don't fucking try to sue us. I know how Charlemagne, how thirsty he is. But anyway,
thirsty.
Guess what race he is? Guess what race it is? You remember they do that? So now we're doing guess what race it is. I'm guessing black, which is damn. What do you think?
And I'm thinking like European, maybe French or.
So you're thinking ee-haw.
No, French are not ee-haw.
Ooh la la.
They're like they design.
French people are not white.
But they design perfume and they call it toilet water. De toilette. De toilette. Body also.
Oh, we.
I don't know.
All I know is Amelie.
All I know
was Amelie, and I had to read a lot.
I don't even know how to spell that.
Tomasisho. But anyway, what's the book about? You don't know.
It's about kind of women's freedom. I haven't listened to all of it.
So kind of like because it says reclamation, so it means like reclaiming your pussy as your own. I'll tell you what it is.
She's an older lady, it seems.
So she is a European Anglo-looking lady, but
and older, like she looks
no.
like
Tell him what's old. Oh, okay. She didn't
60?
look that old one. Who knows? You know. I mean, it could be like she could have aged like mayonnaise. We don't know. She might be 40. Look it up.
What did you say? Age?
She might have aged like mayo.
What does that mean?
Have you ever kept mayo outside? Keep mayo outside for a year and you see what it's gonna look like. The age is bad, bro.
Like cottage cheese.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Meanwhile, brown people age more like
honey?
Yeah. It might get a little crusty, but you can use it.
It solidifies.
You could still eat it.
It lasts forever, right?
Honey?
Yeah. It'll
get a different consistency, a different texture.
Something.
See, this is the range of our podcast. We go from talking about current events to pussy to having some random woman speak and to honey, you know? So food, body parts.
She has a TED Talk, so I'll have to listen to her TED Talk.
Oh, bro. I would love to do a TED Talk. Is there a way we should come up with
We have to be academic, though.
Not
Academia?
necessarily.
No?
Well, does the girl from Game of Thrones, like, how does she get a TED Talk? And I know a comedian.
I thought you had to, like, write a book or something to get on TED.
Dude, I've written a book. It's in my head still, but...
Me too.
We gotta get that shit out then.
Okay.
The girl from Game of Thrones, Arya, I've seen a TED Talk by her. One of my favorite Mexican comedians, what's her name? Del Niño.
I think because they use TED Talks in my line of business.
Yeah, but there's TED Talks for everything.
Education. I listen to a lot about, people that talk about education as a theory and
But there's people that talk about racism, they talk about diversity, that talk about...
That's true.
Sofia Niño de Rivera, the comedian that I like, she talks about just not giving up, like her, being a comedian and her family being like, oh yeah, you're gonna...
Well, that's true. There's that lady, talks about growing up in Africa and reading books
that she couldn't...
They were like
herself.
Books about, just...
Anglos. She just couldn't relate.
But where she lived was like, it wasn't like people picture Africa where they are living.
Basically, it's not a bunch of little kids, naked kids with flags all over their face.
Right.
It's just she either saw that or white people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen that one too.
I forgot her name. But...
We should do a fucking TED Talk about empaths.
And also, Barbara...
Streisand.
Right? Edelman. She talks about when she was a kid, they deemed her as a bad kid because, she took this doll apart and they told her that she was destructive. She just wanted to see what parts could come off a baby. And then when she was digging a hole, she wanted to dig a hole to see if she could get to China. And they called her something bad because...
Where does she live?
She grew up, I think, in Chicago or...
Chi-town.
Back east somewhere. And also...
Hold on, let's give it up for Chicago properly. The Bull.
Chi-town.
Love Chi-town. We gotta get over there on the...
Have you ever been to Chicago?
Fuck yeah.
I love that place.
I love that place
We stayed downtown at this old hotel by High, what's the name of it? Mile High
Club.
No, not the club. Mile High something.
That's something sexual, right? The Mile High Club.
That's
Isn't that
like
when you have sex up in the air?
In the plane, yeah.
Okay. Can women
or if
be
you're in
part of
Denver.
it?
What?
Can women be part of the High Mile Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
But usually it's guys talking about how
they fuck something.
They bagged some...
No, they fucked someone.
Chick.
So that chick is part of the...
Yeah.
And we just gotta own it. We just gotta reclaim our pussy, bro. Yeah. Reclaim. She could have got out of the reclaim.
Why am I talking like this?
Laureezy got a little accent.
I'll reclaim.
You get down from the plane, like... Hope you like that.
Well, now I have a pretty pussy, so...
But now you know.
I gotta own that shit.
Can you imagine if you knew this 20 years ago?
Oh my God.
You probably would have been...
I would be like, boom, 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 wow.
Laureezy be looking at you like, you have no idea what's underneath these articles of clothing. And you have no idea what's underneath this Captain Hook yoga pants situation I got going on.
Leggings. The juncture of my loins.
Bro. That shit
the apex of my loins is pretty.
Hey, you gotta get the compliment, take it, and run with it.
I'm running. I was like all happy all day.
No wonder Laureezy had this aura. You know, it was something different. Like her hair was flowing in a different way. Her what's it called? Her glow. Her glow was very rainbowish.
I haven't had affection in a while.
Talk about that.
And
I don't mean like get into your deep thing, but I remember one time, and I never used your name because I didn't want you to feel like I'm talking behind your back. But I remember one time you told me in this, and we've talked about this, so I'm sure you're okay with this, but it was a little bit after your husband passed, and you were going through some shit, and you went through some shit for a while. And not that you're not going through it anymore, but it was more present at the time.
Yeah, it was more.
But I remember one time things were happening also with me. I'm sure I was in a fucking weird relationship. Who knows what the fuck was happening. And one day we got together and I hugged you and you told me, whoa, I haven't been touched in so long. And that shit, that has never left my brain because, and I say that when I talk about, and this is saying too much, but when I give trainings and I talk about just social emotional shit and things like that.
Yeah.
And we talked about, I don't want to get too much into where, like, you know, I don't like to talk about our profession, but so how touch is very important with the people that we work with, right? And how you should know that some people need more at any given time than others when it comes to like physical, when it comes to like whatever, right? And I always think about that you told me, because my mother, I used to hate this, probably the teenage years where you're a fucking asshole and an idiot, that she always wants to kiss me and hug me. And she'd be the type that I come home from school and she'll kiss me, hug me. And I'm talking like a hug like she hasn't seen me in a few days. And she just saw me in the morning. And she gives me that hug and that kiss. And sometimes she'll go, oh, I didn't even hug you or kiss you, huh, baby? And I'm like, yeah, you did. And back when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, you did, Mom. Yeah, you did. But now I'm like, well, you did, bud. And then I still hug her and kiss her. And I take for granted, I guess, for granted those moments I had with my mother and even my grandmother. I was 100 years old and I still had her up until a few years ago, you know? Well, 6, 7 years ago. But I thought about when you said that and I'm like, fuck, that's shitty that this is my best friend and I haven't given her like contact or anything like that I fucking have and take for granted. I might not have like a good partner. I don't feel I've ever had, but I've had the support system that I can go to, and that's really amazing. I feel like that's part of me being able to keep going on and me having this confidence and this everything. And so you just now saying like contact and, you know, that being important, that shit is real, bro. Because we can talk over the phone, we can text, we can like Snapchat, whatever the fuck we're gonna do, but it doesn't compare to a hug, you know? And I can, not to like derail, but I just want to say like we are re-recording yesterday because some happened to where I really needed my friend. And I really, really fucking needed a hug from you. So last Saturday. So it's just crazy how important it is, you know, human contact, emotion, and just empathy. You know what I mean?
Exactly. In fact, I was talking with my friend and he was telling me that he worked with kids and they told him he couldn't even hug kids.
Why?
Because of like
rules or whatever?
Yeah, because people might get the wrong idea. Yeah, especially a male. Okay. So I was like, what?
I mean, there's a lot of crazy shit out there.
Yeah.
And
so I'm like, not even a hug? So that's sad because, I mean,
human contact is very important. If not, and I feel like this is where we're headed. And sometimes I find myself not wanting to leave the bodega. And then I'm like, I gotta get out.
Yeah.
And I feel like once you have interactions with people and when, you know, you have those hugs and I don't know, it does something to you where, like, I could tell you, I never understood this because I wasn't, you know, a parent and I wasn't really close to children. But, man, I miss my nephew's hugs. You know, I miss his little hugs. I miss his little... Like, one time he smacked the shit out of my face. And I got so mad. Like, what's wrong with you? I told him. And he was so confused. And he didn't measure his strength at that moment. He, just went like this, bah, on my head. And I was like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, I'm sorry, it was an accident. And I was like, oh, what a fucking asshole am I? That I treated him like an adult, like, what's wrong with you?
Wow.
And he just didn't measure his strength in that moment, so he smacked the shit out of my face. But, bro, I sometimes, when I miss him, I'm like, I want to get smacked in the face by him with his little tiny hands. This is so weird, but I miss...
You could just say, gentle, gentle.
But, dude, I'm saying, like, when I miss him, when I really miss him, I want to get smacked in the face by his little tiny hand, bro. I'm just like, fuck it, you know? Like, that shit was funny. I wish I could go back to that moment and be like, shit. Like, whoa, you're really strong, you know? Instead of like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Don't do that. Like, that was just so... I wish I could go back and, like, redo that shit.
I mean, parents have said stuff like that in the heat of the moment. But it's okay to just say, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't...
Yeah, we moved past it right away.
Just be careful next time.
And probably I was coming home from work and I was tired and it was my time that I dedicated to spend with him. So it's a combination of shit, but it's just that, you know? And I want to say too, it was just actually something that I had towards the end, but we're in here. One of my coworkers, she lost her father Monday, I believe. And I was like, holy fuck, dude. The fact that the whole week, she had been showing up to work with a smile. She just started, so it's not like she can get the time off. And that was like a punch in the face to me, because I'm like, you fucking asshole. You automatically judge, oh, this new person is like this new person is like that. Am I going to be able to work with her? Am I going to be able to work with him? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I never thought she might be going through something, right? And I used to be like, oh, well, if they don't feel it about me, why should I feel it about you? But that's not who my mother raised, you know? My mother raised someone that should have empathy from the beginning.
Yeah.
So again, like where I should have watched myself with my nephew in that moment, I feel like I was raised and I have enough of a support system and base to where I was raised where I should be more aware of this stuff, type of shit. You know what I mean? So that stopped me, and that made me like, fuck, man. Even though you think you have issues, you never know what other people are going through, you know?
Totally. I mean, that's funny. Well, it's not funny, but one of my coworkers, their mom passed away on Valentine's Day, and the day before, I was like, you know, I know kind of what you're going through. I lost, 3 of my, closest people in my life the same year, and she's like, wow, thanks for noticing. And I just was like, I'm here if, I understand I just was like, I understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow, thanks for telling me that. And I wasn't like, you know how I know when, because I've told the Isle Kittens that I've had a lot of loss, but it's kind of a drag when people are like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, because you have to respond somehow, like, how do you want me to respond? Like, because I always used to get that a lot. Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just lost my husband and my sister and my brother. Yeah, sure, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, but people just want to
and they don't know what to say.
Yeah, people don't know what to say. So I think what I've learned is what I would like to hear is just like, hey, I'm here. Hey, I kind of know what you're going through because I went through the same thing, but people, it's weird. And I mean, I've been on, asking, I have said, oh, are you okay? Like, but then I'm like, is there anything I can do for you?
Yeah. But yeah, it made me think like, dang, the unexpected and you not knowing and you just going out there in the world, and some people you will see because they're like falling apart or whatever, Yeah. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but others that hold it together, and then later you're like, I'm like, I hope I wasn't an asshole at any point. And then when you think about it, why should I worry about, I hope I wasn't an asshole this week? I could have worried that about last week too, but now I'm worried because she's going through something. You know what I mean? And it's like, as a person, as a human, it's like, come on, bro, we got to do better. We got to do better, And that's my whole thing. So it bugs me when I do it myself, because I'm like, bro, it's not, what's the English thing? Tit for tat? It's not tit for tat. It's like, is that what the English saying is? Tit for tat? I thought I heard that before, but it's like, I guess like dando y dando in Mexican. And again, I say Mexican because that's what I speak, because there's a lot of different Spanish. And I know Mexican is not a language for you guys that want to, hey, but if you want to comment, I'm looking forward for more of you guys to comment, because we have a lot of subscribers, not a lot. We have some subscribers now, and nobody really comments other than those weird Russian algorithm shit that I don't even know what you guys, I'm not smart enough to know what you're trying to do, but one of these days I'll figure it out and you'll see what's up. You fucking. Anyway, all right, let's get something funny.
Yeah, we went all deep.
I want to say a funny story, a segue of Russians. So when I about to start dating a Russian, and I said, because I can't say we dated because we really didn't, but we had like a thing going on, no? And I didn't know she was Russian, and she was so quiet and so like calm, and the way we met, she was in one of my classrooms, and she was one of those people that helps subscribe. Is that what they call it? Like transcribe? Yeah. So I always saw her quiet in the classroom, and, you know, she was cute or whatever. And, you know, once I saw the vibe, once I see that, wait, you look at me, that's when I'll make a move. If you don't look at me and give me the look, then I'm not going to make a move. But anyway, now it takes a lot more for me to make a move. But back then it was just give me this, just give me the look. And it was funny because I was watching a podcast where this guy was like, you know how gay guys are? And they're like, you know, when they want to, and then I know, again, this is has to be YouTube for you guys that listen on Spotify and SoundCloud, but they go like this. If you make that fucking eye contact, then you let them know whether it's. If you do that back. See, now that's an opening. So I kind of had that.
But if you go like this,
then you know that I was just kidding.
Sorry.
Oh, you're not Nancy.
You're not Nancy.
That's an Ellen reference. But anyway, so, you know, I would get the look and whatever. So she gave me the look. So I approached her, and my English was really bad back then. So I didn't pick up on her accent because her English was so like calm, and she was slow when she talked, you know. It wasn't like the way that I talked, but I tried a little bit. Anyway, so I didn't know she was Russian. The whole point of the story was that one day
she wasn't like, would you like some vodka?
Not at all. And I met some fucking hot Russians. But so I remember she was standing.
That's my bad Russian accent.
That's better than my
vodka.
I'd be like Nazarovia. So I show up to class, and I see her outside of the classroom, and I start smiling and walking over there, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a move today. And then all of a sudden she gets, I don't remember if it was a phone call, I don't remember what it was, but all of a sudden that cute, angelic face, when she started speaking Russian, it was like everything changed.
Oh, wow.
And she's just like, oh, fuck. It scared the fuck out of me. And I didn't ask her out that day.
I've never heard this story.
No?
No.
Well, I never asked her out after that.
Oh.
I was so intimidated by what I heard and what I saw. And I know, then it's funny because later on, I saw an episode that I referenced a lot of The Simpsons where certain languages are really harsh, and they were like being funny about that. And I think it was German, the language that they were making fun of. And Lisa goes and she's lost in Germany. So she goes and asks for directions of these two old men that are playing like some sort of like, I don't know, chess or something. And she's like, excuse me, can you please help me? And they go, and then in the subtitles, she starts running because she's scared. In the subtitles, it goes, hi, little girl, of course, it's right around the corner right there. And ever since then, I realized the way Russian and like German it sounds very harsh, but it's not necessarily like that, right? But anyway, that was my segue when I almost dated a Russian.
Wow.
I got scared, you guys.
You guys.
I was scared, you guys. I was a little lesbian Mexican with very limited English. I was like, I gotta be honest, I don't say this much, but I know I need a drink too. I don't say this much, but when people are like, oh, about learning a new language or whatever, I always say I used to watch cartoons, I used to do this. I don't say this much, but the reason that what really pushed me, because I started college, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know how to write a paper, but I didn't give a fuck. But the main reason why I got pushed, I wanted to ask a girl out. And I'm the how do you say, the aggressor? I'm the how do you say, the one that goes hunting? The
person on top?
Well, I am the top, but that's another story.
You're the hunter-gatherer?
I'm the hunter and the gatherer, you know? So I'm like, I have to figure out a way. So at first I wrote this girl a note in high school. And then I'm like, well, I didn't sign it, so that was pointless, right, bitch? So, and I gave her flowers.
You called yourself a bitch?
Yeah. I call everybody a bitch. That's why I feel like don't get offended. And whoa. Okay. This brought me to a different story no. Okay. So it's like, you bitch. Like, you know.
Hey, yeah, I get it.
Was that a white bitch or a brown bitch that wrote it? I'm sorry. I know it sounds super harsh when I say it like that, but it's like, I'm sorry. That's how I talk. So, no, it was just like, I went and bought flowers. I was in high school. I was poor. Me. And I wrote her a note.
Little Wayne.
And then of course, the last thing she's going to think is that a woman gave this to me in high school. So she's looking at the little boys like, who did this? Who's my admirer? And I'm like, you fucking dumb bitch. You didn't sign it. Because I was scared. Not because I forgot. But then I'm like, how was she supposed to know that it was me? So I did it again. And then I'm like, I can't sign it. Because I'm scared. So that happened. Then that was high school. Then college was like, all right, bitch, you gotta get your shit together and ask a girl out. So that's when I really pushed my English, because I was like, I have to, right?
Right.
And the first one, I did Russian. I think happened afterwards. But the same girl from high school, I kept bumping into her, and so one day I was like, fuck it. I was like, hey, you know those flowers and all that shit, all those letters. That was me. And oh, well, thank you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so I was wondering, I don't even know what I said. I always joke. I think I've told you this before. That I joke that I'm like, you, me, you, out, food, you, me. I don't know. I didn't say it like that, bro. But it was very basic. And this is what she answered me. Oh, I'm flattered, but I'm not gay. And I was like, oh, wah, wah, wah. All right. My heart was broken. But, it wasn't broken. But I was just like, all right. So that was that, right? But this is before we get a drink, this was my first encounter with trifling, conniving bitches that later on, she reaches out to me. And she's like, hey, I'm not gay, but I'm bi, so. Oh, bro, wow. Like, why'd you, break my little heart in that moment? And then you come back for me. It's like women have done this to me from the beginning, bro. Like, they break my heart and then they come back once I'm done. So even this little bitch, and I'm calling you a bitch. I would say your name, but I'm not rich. If I was rich, I would say your name. But dude,
I've broken a couple of hearts.
Yeah, but it's different when you approach a girl and she tells you I'm not gay. Then it's like I misjudged and everything. And then for her to come back and be like, actually, that's... bro. Anyway, let's get a drink. Anyway, real quick.
You always
real quick announcements. So these are just announcements, okay? Announcements. Laila Ali might come out of retirement. I thought that was fucking cool because this Clarissa Shields lady, which I probably heard about but I don't know much about, is challenging her. So that would be fucking cool. Laila Ali is like how old? She's like in her 40s, I believe. So that'd be fucking cool, dude. So. But she said in an interview, don't forget, I'm an Ali. Ooh. Who can say that shit, bro? So that was cool. Jeff Bezos donated $10 million for climate. I saw on Twitter one day and I never saw the news again. So, fuck does that mean? Like, give me more information because that was weird. Steven Spielberg's daughter is going to do porn now. And I heard Uncle Charla was like, now that's a scary movie he can write. You, as a writer of movies, your daughter becomes a porn star? That's scary. That's creepy. But
she's probably not even going there.
Apparently she has a lot of fucking issues, and I'm sorry, but that news was just like, what? Steven Spielberg's daughter is gonna be in porn? I kind of want to see. But anyway, and is Steven Spielberg's wife black? Because that girl looks half black. Not that it matters, but I didn't know Steven Spielberg was in with the sisters. That makes him a little cooler, actually.
I didn't know that either.
And then Laureezy didn't know this, but there was this dude called Mad Mike Hughes, I believe is his name. And he has been working on rockets and like I didn't know this. All I know is I saw the news that he built the rocket and it didn't work out. They launched it. The moment they launched it, this video of this, the parachute comes out. So there's no parachute. So when he lands back, he died. He did. And
he did.
The thing that I didn't know was that he's part of the flat world people. So they're trying to prove that the world is flat. So now I'm more like, why do white people do stuff like this, bro? That's a segment we should have. Somebody came at me and said, because I asked you, is that a white person thing? And so I forgot who it was, but they're like, why'd you ask her that? First of all, we have the relationship. She knows. She's an ally. So I don't see her as this white, fucking white devil type of person, I see her as an ally, and I have questions. I'm sure she can ask me. She's giving me the 1, 2, 3 Nicki Minaj blink. But anyway, so that shit was weird. I mean, rest in peace, dude. But why? Also, Narcos Mexico. Ooh, man, Diego Luna is fucking killing this shit, man. Diego Luna, Narcos Mexico. Holy shit, if you haven't seen that shit, watch it. They're not paying me. I'm advertising for free. And finally, not finally. Harvey Weinstein is guilty. I don't give a fuck about
Everybody knew that. But why isn't he in jail? Like Cosby or...
At this point, it's not about money, right? Because I know he probably is more rich than Bill Cosby. But
I don't know who's richer, but
it has to do with race, right?
Oh yeah.
So
he did.
Most likely he's gonna appeal, right? Is that how the system works?
Yeah, he'll get off. He'll just pay somebody.
That shit was funny. Him showing up with the fucking walker. Like, I wish somebody would have from underneath kicked it. It's like, come on, bro. You didn't need the walker when you were raping, did you? Or did he use the walker to make sure that they wouldn't move? I mean, come on. Where was the walker then? That shit is fucking crazy and nasty. And I hope you do go to jail. Maybe you'll be raped in there. I don't know. I'm not wishing anything on you. I'm just saying maybe. Anyway, Pete Davidson's gonna have a special on Netflix. I'm looking forward to that. I like that motherfucker.
What's the name of it?
I don't know. Oh, what I told you wasn't the name of it. That's just
I thought.
No, I called Pete Big Dick Energy Pete. Big Dick Energy Pete is having a special. I heard a couple of Ariana Grande punchlines there.
So wearing gray sweatpants.
Yeah, I mean that's I think for you to. He always wears very baggy clothes, but. He was in a show with Tan, French Tuck Tan, and he tried to dress him, but I'm sure it was just to appease Tan that day, But he tried to dress him like, what's his name, Mulaney, that comedian. He's gonna host SNL next Saturday.
Tan is?
No, Mulaney. What's his name?
I'd rather see Tan.
Oh, Tan, he's adorable. He's the best. But he posted on Instagram that they're recording Queer Eye, the new season. Oh, I can't wait. I nominated my stepdad.
Are they going to be back in the United States?
I believe so. I nominated my stepdad for Queer Eye. And when now I'm going to come clean. Nobody knows this. When I nominated him was around the time that I got disappointed because of a few things he did that were affecting my mother. And I love him to death, you know this. But my mother is my mother. She is my, everything. So when someone does her wrong, I'm sorry, I'm going to be on her side. So around that time, I got an email back from the Queer Eye crew. Obviously not the guys, the people that make the show. And they're like, we love the story, we want to hear more. But I was so upset with him that I was like, I should have never nominated you.
I never
And I didn't reply to the email. So then, because I
thought...
Ay,
Dios mío.
Ay, Dios mío.
Dios mío. You little sneak.
I know, right?
Well, you didn't tell me.
Anyway, and then I was secretly hoping that I would be discovered,
Look, I have the French tuck.
I would do the French tuck for Dan, you know? Even though I was just telling Laureezy, lesbians, you shouldn't tuck a button up. Please, don't tuck a button up. Unless you really want people to know, hey, it's me, lesbian in the room. Don't tuck your button ups, bro. Unless you have a coat on top or, I don't know. I think I have a lot of things that I could talk about with Tan and give him a little bit of more of a lesbian perspective. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. And maybe one day we'll be in the show. Who knows?
That would be super cool.
All right. Now we're going to go to... and I don't even know, like, I don't know how much we recorded because I know we fucked around a lot at the beginning. But
now we're going to go to a commercial break.
Somebody pay us.
Somebody pay us. Come on. Give us some free...
Just give us enough to get some fucking sweatshirts,
or
bro.
some free liquor.
Free liquor would be nice. Laureezy has mentioned this 3 times. Just free liquor, bro.
Or some food?
This is a podcast of...
Isaiah Thomas.
But I got it right.
Oh, that cracks me up.
And I spelled it wrong on YouTube. That's not how you spell it. Sorry.
I hear that. I'll be in the car and I'll be like, is Isaiah Thomas?
And I tell you what it was. I was so tired and I was hungover and I'm editing and I'm like, fuck, it sounds ratchet that I couldn't come up with this name. And then I saw the little button that said record. And I'm like, Isaiah Thomas. And then once I heard it, I was like,
Isaiah Thomas.
Fuck it. So, you're welcome for my editing skills.
That's part of our uniqueness.
Our uniqueness is the fact that we're doing everything on our own, you guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ask Tenoch, bro, can you get the light? And he's just sitting there like my nephew said, he's just sitting there like a pendejo. So,
a pendejo? He's got his little foot out.
Anyway, I don't know if we should talk about this or not, but I think, let's just fuck it. Let's get into it. The whole DWade and his daughter. Laureezy and I had a text conversation that I really liked because she had a different point of view. And anyway, do you want to talk a little bit about what you felt or what you thought? Because your main thing was it's nobody's business, no? And this was for you. Sorry, set it up.
Well, because
DWade's daughter is transitioning, and she now wants to be called Zaya from M to F. That's just her wanting to be just the pronoun. That's all we know.
Yeah, but then people are saying, "Why do you want to cut his dick off?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, is that really your business to? Like, nothing was said about him or her having... And then I talked to you about the pronoun. Mm-hmm. They. Is it they?
You know,
But, I mean, that is their business. And they are, like you were talking about, they're allies. And they're just supporting their child.
Right. But like I told you, an ally has to be somebody that stands up for something. You can't just say, oh, I'm not a racist, and then think that you support non-racism thing. Right. No, you're actually part of the problem. So I was telling Laureezy, for you to be an ally, you have to actually have action. And I don't mean get out there and have, protests or whatever, which is actually acceptable. But mainly it's more, you got to speak up, you got to defend. And I'll tell you something, I'll never forget this. I took a queer studies class. And I've told you the story, I think, before. But the class went from being a full class, the straight people left because they had no interest. Then once the subject of bisexuality came about, we separated. Then the gays and lesbians hated the bisexuals. And it was funny because we were sitting like gays on one side, lesbians on one side, and bisexuals in the middle. And we separated because we're like, ew, you're bisexual. And back then I was young and I was stupid and I just had my fucking whatever. I wasn't actually the most awful person in that classroom, to be honest with you, because the thing I was going to say I'll never forget is that when it came to the subject of gays versus lesbians, I've never understood why we have lesbians and they don't have a word, because they can't own gay. Like, gay is both of us. I never say, oh, I'm actually a lesbian. Well, maybe I do now, but usually I'm like, I'm gay. That's it. I'm gay. You know, if I'm in Mexico, I'm not like, soy lesbiana. No, I'm just like, soy gay. You know, like, that's a universal term, gay. So I feel like the same thing that men do and they just take over, they did that to us, these fucking gay guys, where I can't use the term. Like, I have to have my own term because I'm a woman, and they still want to separate us. So anyway, in the classroom, I'll never forget this. This guy said, he was going on and on about how it was them against us. And then the teacher, she was a lesbian, she goes, so you're telling me that if you see a lesbian being beat up across the street, that you wouldn't do anything? And this was his response, which I said I'll never forget. He said, yeah, I won't help her because we be using our resources on them. So he saw us as them, and they are their own. Can you imagine if there's segregation between us? And
Damn.
There is. So that's why I try not to judge bisexuals anymore. And I will not judge a transgender. I don't, you know, people look at me like I'm supposed to have the answers. I'm part of the alphabet, people. But that doesn't mean that I know everything about the whole, I don't even know. I get the whole plus thing, that we're trying to be inclusive. But I'm not the most progressive person when it comes to adding more letters to our fucking already hard-ass struggle, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, and then the thing that people laugh or think, or I laugh and people think it's rude when it comes to the flag. Yeah, we took over the rainbow, but then transgenders have this flag, right? So it's like, you are separating yourself, which is cool. It's fine. We don't have to be the same. We don't have to be, however, again, I'm always going to be biased towards the alphabet people because I am part of the alphabet people, you know?
Alphabet?
I feel like Chappelle explained it the most. LGBTQ plus.
Okay.
You know, Chappelle said, you know, the alphabet people, the L's love him, the gays are okay with him, the B's love him, the T's hate him. So there's a bunch of us, but me, you know, being the L, I don't know. I just feel like I cannot judge and I have to support. So again, I feel like DWade, you say it's their business, which I agree. But I feel like he's a public figure. He needs to speak up about it because his daughter Saya is gonna get,
I think,
targeted, and
he's gonna talk about it. But people go on and tell him he's making the wrong decision for supporting.
He's not. You're making a wrong decision by supporting your kid.
Yeah.
Listen to that. That sounds fucking idiotic, bro.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Them telling
him how
like, that's stupid.
And then we talked about this. Nobody ever even brought up the subject of surgery. Nobody brought that shit up. So why are you already envisioning this little kid having surgery? Like, you're the psychotic one. And it makes me go back to that whole point I told you. You fucking weird straight people automatically go to bed or to like sex.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking already of that when this little kid is barely having the guts to come out and say, this is who I am. And thank God that this little kid has the parents that she has, where, you know, I didn't have that shit. A lot of people I know didn't have that shit, that weren't supported at the beginning. And that shit is rough, you know?
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I was in Hobbs and I was addressing, you know, families that maybe have different family members. You know, you should include books that represent, you know, different families. And I remember this, like, superintendent was like, we're in the Bible Belt. We don't have any sexual books. And I was like, it's not. I'm like, it's
scary,
not sexual. It's just having maybe two moms or two dads. Nobody said anything about sex. Like,
automatically they go to that shit,
well, this
bro.
is the Bible Belt. We don't talk about sexual things. I'm like, oh, okay.
I hate to be so vulgar, but you automatically go to dick and vagina.
It's about little kids. We're not going to talk about
kid
sex.
Who doesn't feel that
so how are you
going to
help
body?
That little kid explain, well, he has two moms or two, like other kids.
You know that was part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
That person was saying they don't want to deal with that shit.
No. Just keep it in the dark.
Instead, they'll shame that kid.
Yeah. They'll make him
not
feel weird.
Not love. Not feel like,
and not be able to say, hey, I have two moms.
And peer pressure is a motherfucker, bro.
Oh, yeah. They'll make fun of him.
And then to the point that he'll be like, nah, they're the ones wrong. My moms are the ones that are wrong. Or dads or whatever the fuck he has. You know, I met someone recently that, for being so young, she's very, she studied this, but she's very much aware about this type of shit and just being, and she's Anglo, which really surprised me just how she views things. And she was just telling me, we were having actually a conversation because, I can be a little rough with the people. And and I was telling her, you wouldn't consider me a racist? And she's like, no, I would consider you a bigot. And I was like, oh, ouch. But I was like, why? And the way she explained, like, how I'm a trifecta, and I said that. She didn't say that, but I'm a woman, I'm Mexican, and I'm a lesbian. And she's like, you or anybody else in minorities don't have the power to be racist. So that's the power that us white people have. And once we realize our white privilege and what to do with it, I was all white now, and what to do with it. Then, but she's like, but anybody like you, or I was talking to her about one of my exes that I felt like was racist. And she's like, no, she's not a racist. She's a bigot. And I said, I didn't really go full on how I feel, but I was like, and she's like, no, you be a bigot. And I'm like, oh shit. But she's like, it's mainly because there's no institutional power that you have the way that we have it, she said. So that was pretty cool and pretty amazing, like just listening to her and what she thinks. But the thing about that is, and I'm sorry if later on you listen to this and I'm talking about your shit, but her sister is transgender. So that also was a different perspective that she has, because at first it was like, well, and then she told me, it's like, she would ask, like, are you gay? And it was like, no, I think I'm this. So that's a completely different conversation to what I had with my brother, per se, of, he's the first person I came out to. And I think I've told you this story. And I don't know if I should say it or save it for my book. But I've told you, I think.
Yeah.
So then he's the first person I came out to. And that's just, things were very different than what her and her sister had to deal with, as her sister being transgender and all that. But not this, I'm sorry I call her a kid. I didn't know she was that young, but, she's in her early 20s. But this kid really impressed me. And I'm like, I like that there's people in society like this. And she's from Chicago, Chi-Town. So that shit was cool. It was really cool to meet someone that, and it reminded me a lot about you. Because I was talking to her about how having allies and having people that really do care and go beyond the whole, I know white privilege. Like, no, you really don't, And it's being more, having more empathy, and like putting yourself in other people's shoes. So that shit was cool. But again, I don't know, dude. I feel like it's none of our business, but at the same time, that's one of the most amazing basketball players that, of our time. His wife is famous. They had a famous breakup baby, So they're in the news. So I get that they're going to continue to be in the news. And I feel this little girl, Saya, knows that. And knows that, hey, let's come with it,
Yeah.
So fuck it, it's again, nobody talked about surgery. It's just the matter of fact that you will have to address it. They are gonna judge. Look at all these fucking idiots like Boozy and all these people.
Oh my god, did you hear what he said? He's just like, don't cut his dick off. He doesn't even know. Blah blah blah. I'm like, it's not your kid. You don't even like.
If you really think about that, like if I just listen to what he says, I this is what I'm thinking when I close my eyes. Like DWade just be like, all right, come here, little kid. So this is what you want? You sure? Are you sure? You got 5 seconds to make up your mind. Okay, here we go. We're going to cut. Bro, this is why I feel Boosie is picturing in his head. Like, dude, you have no idea. Get a little bit educated, my G. You know, you have a little bit of money now. Get a little bit of education.
Read a book.
Please, bro, please.
Please be.
There's audiobooks now, bro. Come on, man. Come on. That shit is whack, bro.
Come here, let me cut it off.
Dude, like nobody even said anything about anything. Ugh, people are weird. But again, I tell you, whenever it comes to like me talking about being gay, one of the first fucking questions, what do you guys do? I don't know, you lame ass straight fucking missionary Wednesday motherfucker. What do you do? I can already see it. I just told you. You know? So you asking me what I do? This was always my answer. And it's funny because it leads us back to earlier. I gave this answer to one of my homies from Colombia. His wife was Russian. Hot. Super fucking hot bitch. And he gave me that shit. And I was like, why don't you let me borrow your wife for a weekend and then she can tell you what I did. So, and he was pissed, you know? I was like, bruh. What do you do? What do you do, pendejo? With your funky ass? Just kidding. He looked like Shaggy, and she was a beauty queen, man. So I always wonder what that was about. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Oh.
He looked like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, bro. Yeah.
He was white?
Yeah. No, he was Colombian, but Colombian blondish.
Colombian
like
Shaggy.
He looked white.
He was the Colombian Shaggy.
Yeah, he was Colombian Shaggy.
I remember my husband. He asked our friends, which one of you is the catcher?
Wait. Tell the story when you guys moved.
Oh, yeah. So we live in this house a year. There's this lady, she moves out, and then these 2 young guys move in, and my husband's talkative. Hey, how you doing? Oh, welcome to the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. And the one guy gives him a tour of the house, and Blade came back and said, Laura, you know what? I think we need to help them get a bed because there's only one bed there. And he said his roommate wasn't there. And I was like, I just shook my head, and he's like, what? They're roommates. They only have one bed. I'm like,
oh.
I was like, Blade,
sweet.
Sit down. I think they might be gay. They only have one bed.
What did he say?
No, because they're not like, they're dudes. Duty. They're dudes. Like, they have tools.
I gotta look for a manly thing.
They have tools and like they can fix stuff. I know because I went in their garage and I saw all these tools and they have like a lawnmower and so and they look the one guy looks very like he doesn't look gay. I don't think they're gay. I think they're just okay.
It's just one bed roommates. Probably making more money than you guys, maybe.
Yeah.
With one bed.
It was, and I tell, we're really good. We're good friends, and I always tell them that.
You've told them the story?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
But then my husband still asks one of them, the catcher, the batter, or something.
And I think well, I don't know, but I think for men, it's important to know who the catcher is, or the pitcher, I guess.
The pitcher.
Because the pitcher somehow seems more important. I recently saw or heard in the Breakfast Club that they were asking, are you the top or bottom? And then they were shaming the bottoms. And then they're like, they had a Flame Monroe, the comedian. Have you seen Flame Monroe? Mm-hmm. So Flame was saying like, I don't know, Flame wasn't necessarily like shaming them, but I know Charlemagne and Envy were. And it's funny because it's gonna bring me back because he said something about Angela, but Angela was the one that was like, is there anything wrong with being a bottom? Like, why are you guys blah blah blah? And then Flame Monroe was like, well, why are you a bottom? And Angela's like, yeah. Like, what do you think, she's gonna be the top? She's a straight woman. Like, you know, like, I mean, straight women are almost automatically the bottom. I mean, unless you're pegging.
Pegging?
That's another conversation that we'll have another day. But, so anyway, which was funny because then it's like, there's nothing wrong with being... What about if you ride
the pony?
See, there's this guy that came up and he's all like, there's nothing wrong with being the bottom. Like, tops need a bottom to fuck. So if you want us to be shamed, then you won't have anything to fuck, would you? So it's like, this is true. I need a bottom, bro. I need a bottom to survive.
Yeah, it goes back to the, like, feminine, like, they're inferior. So they must be the bottom.
I guess that's funny you say that, yeah, because I've met a lot of guys, gay guys, that I've judged like, oh, that's the top, that's the bottom. And then later I find out that either it's not the case or that they switch. And I've been like, well, I'm surprised by that. Not surprised surprised in the fact that I thought that one was like super manly. But again, you know, from my own experience, it just depends on the situation, the relationship, the whatever, you know, how long you've been with this person and you want to try new things. Like, you know, it depends on a lot of things. Not always the bottom. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, have you ever pegged Blade? I don't want to know about that, but
I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you in a minute.
What is that?
Some of our listeners might know.
Peg?
But anyway, I'm sure you never did. But anyway.
But what is it?
He wouldn't let
what does that mean?
Should we get into it or should we get into it? Let's get into that another time because we're past our bedtime.
I gotta go to bed.
We're past our bedtime. I want to do a shout out. I saw you just subscribe. I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to say too much, but I see you. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you.
I have to say,
we love you.
In case you don't know who you are, you have amazing tits. I'm pretty sure she knows that. They're beautiful.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah.
You really went there.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for subscribing. I'm kidding. I appreciate you. And this is just a shout out to you. I thought you'd forgotten about me. But thank you for being an idle kitten. And meow is right.
Meowie.
What else? Any you got one of your powerful six in there that you want to get in there?
This is really the motto that I'm working on, is just don't take things personally, internally. Give it to the universe. Don't harvest it in your heart. Just let it go.
Hey, I like that. I like that. And yeah, that's good. And don't forget to moisturize your spirituality, you know?
Exactly.